How I only spend 20 minutes a day on this. A while ago, I realized something that didn't make sense. People kept asking me, how much time do I need to build extra income? And most of the answers they were getting were the same: 2 hours a day, 3 hours minimum, grind after work. But here's what didn't add up. The professionals I saw getting results were not the ones with the most time. In fact, some of them were spending less than 30 minutes a day. So the real question became, what are they doing differently? Because if someone can make progress in 20 minutes, then time is not the real problem. And that's when everything started to shift for me. Let me be honest with you. Most people don't actually lack time. They lack structure. Because if you look at a typical day, it's already full. Work, meetings, commute, responsibilities. By the time evening comes, you're not starting fresh. You're continuing from fatigue. So when someone tells you, just add 3 more hours, it sounds good, but it doesn't fit real life. And this is where most people fail. They try to run a full-time strategy in a part-time life. I used to do the same thing. I would sit down, open my laptop, and tell myself, let's work on extra income. But there was one problem. I didn't know exactly what I was doing, so I would start watching videos, checking different strategies, switching between ideas. And before I realized it, the time was gone. Not because I didn't try, I was trying, but because I spent most of the time thinking instead of executing. That's when I noticed something important. The people making progress in limited time were not doing more. They were doing less. But with precision, they didn't sit down to figure things out. They sat down to execute something already defined. And that changes everything. Because here's the truth: 20 minutes is not enough for confusion, but it's more than enough for execution if you already know what to do. Think about it like this. Imagine going to the gym. If you walk in and start asking, what should I train today? What exercises should I do? What's the best plan? You'll waste half your time thinking. But if you walk in with a clear program, you just start. No hesitation, no delay. Income systems work the same way. So I made a decision. Instead of trying to do more, I simplified everything. And I built a system that could run in a short, controlled time window. Here's what that actually looks like. When I sit down for those 20 minutes, I'm not learning, I'm not exploring, I'm not switching strategies. I'm executing one defined process. That's it. And this is where most people go wrong. They use their limited time for unlimited thinking. Imagine. And thinking is what drains energy. Execution is what produces results. So I structured everything around 3 things. Clarity. Before those 20 minutes start, I already know what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, what I'm looking for. No decisions inside the session, just action. Control. I don't rely on how I feel. I don't adjust based on emotion. There are rules: when to act, when not to act, how much time I use. So even on low energy days, the system still runs. And consistency. This is where everything compounds. Because 20 minutes today doesn't look like much, but 20 minutes repeated daily becomes powerful. Let me give you a practical picture. One person finishes work. opens their phone and starts exploring ideas. Maybe they watch videos about trading, then they consider starting a small business, maybe selling clothes or food delivery, or even opening a small shop. They are busy but scattered. Another person finishes work, sits down at the same time, and runs a simple system. Maybe it's trading. Maybe it's managing a small side business. Maybe it's handling orders or tracking numbers. Same process, same structure, same time window. 3 months later, the first person has information. The second person has results. And the difference is not time, it's structure. Now, here's the part most people don't expect. Working less actually improved my results because the system became sustainable. I didn't need motivation. I didn't need extra energy. I just needed to show up and follow the process. And this is where the real shift happens. You stop asking, how can I find more time? And you start asking, how can I remove decisions from the time I already have? Because when decisions are removed, execution becomes easier. And when execution becomes easier, consistency becomes natural. That's how you make 20 minutes enough. Not by squeezing more in, but by removing everything unnecessary. There's a reason this shows up in movies like The Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off. At first, it looks simple, almost pointless, but those small repeated actions build real skill. That's exactly how this works. Simple, structured, repeatable. So if you've been feeling like you don't have enough time, you might not need more time. You might need a better system. Because in the end, the professionals who succeed are not the ones who work the most. They're the ones who can execute clearly, under control, consistently. And when that's in place, even 20 minutes a day is enough to build something real.